StepUp is one of the most confusing terms in all of self-funded search investing, both for searchers and investors. The key to understand StepUp is to realize that it's a compromise between two extreme ways to look at how ownership in an entrepreneurship through acquisition deal should be split between the searcher and investors. We need an example to explain this, so let's set the stage. Imagine you're buying a business that does $1 million in earnings and you're paying a 4 times multiple, or $4 million. And let's assume that you're using an SBA loan and a seller note for most of the purchase price, but 15% or 600 grand is coming from an equity injection. Let's further assume that you're contributing $100,000 of that and that investors are putting in 500 grand. The big question is, how should ownership be split? On the one hand, investors might think, look, we're putting in 5/6 of the equity. Equity is ownership. We should own 5/6 of the business. On the other hand, the searcher might respond and say, I did all the work to find this business. I'm going to be running it with a capped salary, by the way, so that we both make money through distributions. And most importantly, I'm personally guaranteeing a multi-million-dollar SBA loan. So there's no way I'm doing all of that for 1/6 ownership. StepUp comes in and bridges that gap. The industry standard and the way it works is that investors own equity in the business equal to the percentage of the total acquisition price that they contributed. So in this case, that's 500,000 divided by 4 million, or 12.5%. And you take that and you multiply it by the step up. So if the step up is 2 times, then they own the 12.5% of the purchase price that they contributed multiplied by 2 equals 25% of the business. And the searcher owns the other 75%. Step up normally ranges from 2x to 3x, with higher step ups often being required to get investors the return they want if you're paying a higher acquisition multiple. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I invest in self-funded search deals and I'm happy to be helpful however I can be.